Hello, my little munchkins, my little crones and sunflowers. How are you on this Wednesday evening? I hope great. I really
Yes.
do. I'm lost for words. Help me, baby crone.
Okay, well, baby
Brain
Crow,
freeze.
that's okay. Baby Crow will finish it off for you with her little tangent. It's the very end of the month. However, because it's a leap year, February has 29 days. So tomorrow is really the last day of February. That's something a little special about this hump day.
Hump, 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 hump. And remember, you know that it is because according to numerology, it is 28 equals what? 10. So you go back around to the same cycle all over again.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing when they did the calendars, they thought of these things?
Yes, they really did. And oh, how they have taken us away from it all. But that's a little
Seasons and everything. We're going to leave that
Yes.
alone. That's a little tangent I had right there
Yes,
because
we
I don't
both
like
do.
them fooling with the seasons.
Mm-mm.
But they did all this for the religious relief, for Christianity.
Yes, that's what
This was all changed to fit Jesus' birthday.
Anyway, here we are on Vanderpump Rules.
But wouldn't it be wonderful? Can I say one thing?
Okay.
Just one thing.
All right.
Would it not, think about this, would it not be wonderful to celebrate Christmas on the first day of spring in March?
Okay. Oh, yes. To symbolize rebirth and coming.
Wouldn't that be
Yes.
the smart thing?
Yes.
To say the new year will go with the season.
Mm-hmm.
The new year, a new year. So it's not just human beings, it's everything around us,
Yes.
right? The stars, the earth, everything is renewing. Animals, people, everything is renewing itself. Weddings are planned.
Yes.
Everything is renewing for the spring that brings so much robust to life. Now, think about it. Why would you have winter in December,
Yes,
the 25th, possibly in parts of the world, the most coldest time of the year, maybe, in the winter for the United States, right?
Yes.
Chilly time, jackets, cold, you go out, you're not cold, but you could celebrate New Year's in March, at the end of March,
Yes.
when spring is coming in. You may have to fight some storms, but wouldn't that be better?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand.
When everything come alive.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, baby Crone.
Yes, and I did learn something very interesting that when you look at how some of the months are named, like October, Oct means like the 8th, but October's the 10th month. And if you think about December, how Deci means 10, but it's the 12th month. So when you really look at how
December, not the 12th month. Yes, it is. Oh, well, excuse me. It's the 12th month of the year. Oh, yeah.
Yes,
but on the zodiac wheel, it's the 9th house.
Yes, it is.
See? And because the number 10 really don't exist. The number really stops at 9. 0 is just the beginning of a continuation of 1.
Yes.
I like to call 10 or 10, 20, 30. Yes. I like to call those transitional months.
They are.
What do you mean? You know, when a mother's pregnant, when a woman has carried a baby, right? Yes. You remember you done carried that baby, and you know that baby, whenever you give birth to that baby will not be 1 year old until it comes back around again. They don't even acknowledge that.
No.
They don't acknowledge the term, right?
Mm-mm.
That's how it is. And help me.
In numerology. And talking about the number 0.
And talking about the number 0. So there is no 9. There is 9, but 10 is just the continuation to go back to 1. So I like to call it the nesting period.
I like that.
To prepare you for your next endeavor, your next cycle. Thank you, baby Crone. Your next cycle. Well, anyway, we done get googly got. Let's just get on in with it. What is this? What is Vanderpump Rules? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And speaking of cycles, they sure aren't breaking any cycles here because it's the same thing over and over again. However, to start this
But
off.
babe, that's why we watch it.
That is true.
We
keep
watch
coming
it to
back.
keep, we watch it to watch the good times, the boring times, because we know when it's good, it's good. And when it's boring, it's boring. But it's more good than boring. So we deal with a boring season, a boring here and a boring. It's only when you start having 3 boring episodes at a time that we all begin, that the watchers begin to complain. But it's not that. They usually, if they skip you this week, they'll get you next week. They'll find a cliffhanger. They'll get something.
They will. So starting off this episode, because they wanted to, we ended off with Graham. So Graham, the dog that James had gotten back. Graham got to meet, well, I think the cat's
his girlfriend.
Name was Buck.
Oh, Buck. Okay.
Yes. And
what's the name of his girlfriend? Excuse me.
Allie.
Allie. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Allie?
Allie.
Allie. Like an alley cat.
Yes.
Allie.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So Allie is very nervous. Well, first off, she was shocked to see Graham. Everybody in the cast was shocked to see Graham. Just as we said last episode, for Graham.
How does she know about Graham?
Probably James told him about her because
told her about him.
Yes, especially because the way Allie feels. Which, girl, I definitely understand.
I understand too. I do.
Yeah, she was just like, first, she was like, last year I had to deal with Rachel.
First of all, you ain't had to deal with anything. You could have just skipped on somewhere else, but this was an opening and you took it. Tell it to somebody else to believe you. Okay. You was there, this was an opening. And you took it, so don't.
Yeah, true. Don't. Yeah, first.
It's an honor to be on that show. It's an honor to be on that show.
Yes.
An honor. And you know it. And to be James' girlfriend, one of the top DJs, girl, please.
Yes.
You were so glad Rachel, or what's her name? Raquel. You so glad she gone, and you don't want that dog because that dog reminds you of her because you're jealous. But you know what? You'll always be second to her. That's just the way it is, boo. Yeah. It is the way it is. Like that. Get over it. You'll never be first. He had her. It's nothing. Hey, and I think before her, he had Lala.
Yes.
So please.
And actually, she even wants to rename the dog Hippie.
That's understandable to change the name. I understand.
I think Graham is cute.
That's not, well, it ain't your dog, but you know, I do think Graham Cracker is cute. However, but if she's going to keep the dog and she's got to tolerate the training the dog with the cat, and she's got to go through that, let her change the dog's name. Okay. She is jealous of another woman. I would that's immaturity. I would never be jealous. What? Because I'm here. And where is she? But I'm here. Yeah. He's with me now. I don't have to be jealous. See, that's insecurity.
Okay.
So James make her insecure because she shouldn't even be fazed by that. But see, that's maturity.
Yeah.
I'm going to be insecure when I'm here. The only reason why I'm going to be insecure if he makes me feel insecure. Fair and enough. Maybe because he really loved Rachel or Raquel.
Yeah. Speaking of Raquel, Tom and Tom were shopping. Well, yeah, Tom and Tom were shopping.
Those my boys.
Yes, to go to Lake Tahoe. And while they were shopping, Tom Schwartz was getting letters sent to him about Rachel coming out of a mental facility after 2 months.
But why was he getting them?
People were sending him the articles. It was like, did you hear about this about Rachel?
Okay.
And then so Tom brings it up to Tom Sandoval.
Okay.
And he was just like, yeah, I knew, but I didn't think it was my place to say she was out of a mental institution until she was ready.
Okay.
And then Tom Schwartz brings up another article saying, so she goes by Rachel now. And he was just like, yeah, but I tried reaching out to Rachel and she hasn't talked to me. My messages aren't even going through. And Tom feels like Tom Sandoval should move on.
So let me ask you this. So I'm curious. So if you send a text, how do you know? Do a red sign come up or something? How do you know if it's not going through? Do a red sign?
Yes, a red symbol will show up, or it will just not even say delivered. Depending if they have an iPhone, because she has.
But sometimes it don't even say delivered or anything.
Yeah, that's because.
But if the red symbol come up, that means you block.
Yeah, that could definitely mean you're that could definitely mean you're blocked because your message didn't go through.
Or it could mean what else?
That the numbers discontinued. Like they got a number. Nobody.
So let's say you sent a text to somebody and it was blocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that thing came up. If you delete the message, do they still get it? Or it just never would go through?
No, it will never go through.
They'll never know what that person
No, technology has changed it. Beforehand, it used to go through. Now it won't even go through.
So you just lose the message.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know what that person, you don't even know they messaged you.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Wow.
Yes.
But that red symbol is letting you know you've been blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. Or their phone is no. If their phone is off,
no. Like if they like change their number and nobody's using that number, it's like a dead number, so it's not going to go through.
Oh, so they do that deliberately. Gotcha.
Yes. Now, this is very interesting.
Well, let me say. So I gotta say something. I'm sorry. This is technology because I'm thinking about Sandoval because he said he can't get through. So what? Well, once upon a time, not long ago, if somebody texts me and they'll say, "Did you get my text?" and I would say, "No." But they would still have me. But they would still have. They would. Okay, got it.
Okay.
I had to figure that out in my head. So it's no way he can contact her if because he doesn't, she's out of the facility, but she wasn't taking his text. He wasn't taking her calls. He was on block. So it was no way he could get a message. Got it.
How she could get his messages.
Because she blocked him, right? So not even a text, not even if she wanted to scroll back and see who texted her, right. She can't even do. You can't do that anymore.
No.
So once you're blocked,
yeah,
you no more information. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they making it where if you want to block, you better be knowing that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, that is true.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. Now,
okay, that was a class.
Yeah,
sorry.
But that's all talking about how Tom Schwartz is like, if Rachel isn't reaching out to you and she's been out of this mental facility, I think it's time to move on, buddy. And Tom's like,
yeah, like I said, that's what I was saying. I got stuck because I was wondering, could she get his message? No, okay, it's time to move on.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
But the thing is, he did move on.
Yes, he
did move on. He was dating. He was doing this. He was drinking, but he sobered up. So he says.
Yes, so he says.
So now it's like, I know my heart belonged to Rachel. So this is what you do, Tom. You know she's out. You know where she lives. You can find her. Hire a detective. You can find her and meet her where she stands. Just say, I love you. Bum rush her with love. Tell her you miss her. Tell her I'll marry you.
Okay. Yes, for all this.
Don't do it though, but don't listen to me. But what I'm saying is, if you really love her and you really want, then just say, I'll marry you. Because you know you're marrying a woman that's psychologically not stable.
That is true.
I would leave her alone. At this point, she's damaged.
Yeah.
And she was damaged before you, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, so the show took her over the edge and she's so fragile. So I'm just saying. And remember, she was with James.
Yes. Speaking of somebody that is also a little unstable, we have Sheena stressing out her husband because only her friends
have a little compassion, baby Crone.
Okay.
Because you don't have no children. And I don't want the audience to beat you up.
I mean, she's this child's 2 years old and she's saying it's postpartum OC, like anyway, Sheena feels like only her mom and her friends can watch her 2-year-old daughter. And he feels we're newlyweds and it's too much that now we can't go out and now your mother's living with us. And Sheena got offended by that. I mean, I could definitely understand. I mean, if you're really close with your mother, you should not be having a problem with my mother living there.
Well, no. This is when you're a newlywed, you need at least 2 times alone. You need a year. You need 2 years with you and him now, and they are newlyweds, but they got a baby.
Yes.
Okay, so this fell out. I gotta see. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay, this is what I see.
Okay.
I read my cards right side up, but I need no help. What I see a 4 of Pentacles. Whew. What's happening is I study the Kabbalah. So it's like I be struggling which way I want to go, but I'm gonna go this way. When I see this, I think Sheena is being very self-absorbed. Okay. I think she's being self-absorbed. I think she's holding everything to herself. I really do. I think that she's had counseling. She's going through counseling, but Sheena is one of them prissy girls. And I think that if Sheena doesn't stop it, it's going to affect her relationship because the card was upside down. It's going to affect her relationship if she doesn't ease up and understand this is both of our child. Not yours, but ours. And I see the Wheel of Fortune. And you know the wheel. The wheel is everything. The wheel is everything, anything, good, bad, you spin it. And she's spinning a wheel and she's pushing him. Even when he apologized, she could have said, I apologize too. I'm working on it. But instead, she reprimanded him. As the spoiled, I call them spoiled white girls. I'm sorry. They really are. I'm so sorry. And I don't mean it in a racist way. I really don't. It's just that TV and what I've been around, this is the ideal, they are the perfect ideal of spoiled white women to me. They like Karens in a way. But they're not really because they cliquish. Yes. Because those kind, they cliquish and they classy, at least they try to be, and they're elegant in their own sense. Yes. Let me tell you this and then we can go on. Okay. Like when they was eating at a restaurant, I am so sick and tired of them acting like they never eat at a fancy restaurant. They go, oh no, this is so fancy. Oh, stop it. You was eating at, you work at Lisa Vanderpump, for God's sake. So you know her. And so, y'all know, y'all came in this job working from these restaurants. So why y'all acting like, we're going to be eating at a, that's all y'all used to, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying? Yes. That is the phony, stop it. Stop, they was at the restaurant. They were. I'm sick of it. Do they not always do that?
Yes, they are. Always in awestruck of how they are in a fancy restaurant. Like it's their first time walking in.
I'm like,
so beautiful.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm like, if you all don't stop and you work in a fancy restaurant, I'm just saying, I'm done. I don't know if they're working there now. I don't know, but they did. And they know fancy restaurants. They know it. They know the etiquette. They work there. So it just hilarious. It is. In a not good way when they do that. It's like, y'all need to stop. That's what I'm saying. That's the white girls. And I don't mean this to any white people. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even meaning it in a derogatory way. It's just that's what I call those ritzy, and I'm not saying they rich, but ritzy, famous for what they do. They stars, and ritzy and famous and prissy and and the way they talk to their men and the way they hate men and the way that they're bisexual and the way that their men are bisexual and the way, I'm not gonna call them bisexual. What do I? Sexually fluid, and the way her husband had on those bikinis. Jesus, and he holds the hand and they jump in. I can see my eyes was closed because I was having a visual. But anyway, let me get back to this reading. So I'm saying, if she doesn't stop, she's going to go one day and she's going to push him away. She's really over the top. And right now, this is okay. Yeah, I knew I was right about this. I knew I was right. I knew it. Okay, what I feel about this right now, and then I'm gonna let this go. What I feel about this right now, I think he really made up with her because he wants to have a good time on this trip.
Yes.
He wants to have a good time. It's like, okay, let me bite the bullet. He wants to have a good time. But remember, it's still simmering with her.
Yes.
It's still simmering with her. You understand? And remember, this is the enlightened card. And no, this card is also known as the thief.
Yes.
Because it hangs itself upside down. So understand that they glorified it, of course. But understand she still got this stuff in her heart. So because in her mind, Sheena, this is her baby. And if she doesn't stop it, she's going to be like this. Sleepless nights, because she's going to push him into another woman's arms if she doesn't stop it. And he's letting her know because he was sitting on it. But now he's like, now the mother done moved in. It's too much, Sheena. Too much. Well, that's all I got to say. Was that good?
Yes, that was good.
If you don't stop it, you're going to lose him. And don't let this baby that's supposed to be a bundle of joy come in your marriage. You're making a big mistake. And whatever you're going through, girl, let me tell you something. Go on a fast. Go on a fast, for real. Go on a fast and fast about it. Put yourself through some fasting where you ain't eating and meditate on how you can get over this phobia that you done concoct in your mind. Yes, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying postpartum, but you 2 years in, I don't know about all that. I don't know. Maybe he can last for 2-3 years, but that's a long time to be going through some postpartum.
It is.
I'm just saying, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying it's not so, but at 2 years, you should be sick of it yourself because it would drive me about crazy. But let me say this last thing, but it's curious to me, Sheena, how you have all this fear, but you always hopping and going. You're talking to Snake right now because if it really mattered, your job matters. Because if it really mattered, you wouldn't go.
That is true.
That's word. So, like I said, them girls.
Yeah.
I'm going to call them girls. It's them girls. You understand what I'm saying? It's the way that they think. It's just and the way they talk to their men, but their men are more passive. I just don't know. Okay, that's it. Moving on.
Yes. Now, this was very clever. Lady Crone had peeped Lisa's game. Lisa is advertising her new restaurant, Wolf, in the Lake Tahoe region.
That's why she had them come. She needed a good reason. But Lord, she needed that. She needed that. It was good though. Boy, they was all dressed up, going all dust up. She was like, look. It looked like it's going to be nice.
Yes, it does. But of course, that's just another fancy restaurant.
In Tahoe.
Yes.
Is it in Lake Tahoe or just Tahoe?
Tahoe, but Tahoe, Nevada.
I know where Tahoe. I used to live in Nevada.
I just learned that Lake Tahoe is
in Nevada,
California and Nevada.
The reason why it's such a big place because in Nevada they have Lake Mead, but they don't have no place to go to swim.
Oh,
yeah, it's desert.
You're right.
So that's a big place to go to entertain.
Okay.
Now they may have swimming places and all that there, but it ain't a place where you're going to find a beach. So you have to go to Lake Tahoe.
Got you. And at Lake Tahoe, Tom is very nervous, and we really got to see a raw moment with him in the car when he broke down crying.
Just sporadically after talking to Lisa, I felt that. But he's sensitive anyway. They all are. All the men are sensitive.
But that just really shows you how stressed this situation is for him, especially when he was hammering the wall. You can tell that
he was saying every negative thing he heard about him. But I'm going to tell you this. I understand. And I also understand people feel as though he's not entitled to feel the way he feels. First of all, what happened to him happened to him. And what's her name?
Rachel.
No. Yeah. Him. His girlfriend.
Oh, Ariana.
Ariana. It didn't happen to none of those people. It happened to him and Ariana. And they made themselves a part of it. But that's the way that group is. And if it would have been somebody else, he would have been the same way. However, because we remember when he punched Jack in the face and caused him to bleed. So we know how he would have behaved. However, that's time. That's a long time ago. Many of those people are not on the show anymore, and the show is moving on. So I like to keep things in their proper place. I'm a type of person I like to live in the present as much as I can. So now what I see Swartz growing up. Sandoval. I mean, I see Sandoval. I see Sandoval really growing up. It could just be because of this episode, but he said something that was so profound to me.
Okay.
He figured this thing out. He finally said, I wanted out of the relationship. Wasn't going nowhere, and I wasn't happy. He had said in the time I was 40 and I'm 40 or going on 40, but anyway, he said he couldn't even see there's no life. Mm-hmm. And I could understand. And so it took this to get him to get out. He can't regret it because, like he said, if I regret it, then he said I wasn't free. Mm-hmm. Paraphrasing. I get him. Sometimes we hurt people because we're not strong enough. You understand?
Yes. I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much it for this episode.
That was it.
Yes, I think James is going to work on his friendship.
He did give him, but who is James? Okay. James is like a little boy to me. He's just a little kid. Just a little kid to me. Oh, he's like 25 years old. No. He's like 23. Like he's still young. I mean, I can he's like 23. Like, how you young, you older, but you immature. He just immature. He got sense.
You're right.
He makes sense. I'm not talking about his intelligence or anything.
No, just his behavior.
Is that it?
Yes.
I mean, if you had a problem, he's somebody you could sit down and talk to. And I think he could give you relatively good advice. I really do, especially in matters of the heart and things like that. Yeah, and as a DJ and things like that. I'm not taking nothing from him like that. It's just that he reminds me of a kid in a way.
I do.
But it's endearing about him too. But it's a part of him that he could just grow up out of. And it's a tongue twister. Yeah. But anyway, anything else?
No, that was it.
Well, that was it. That's it. That's all we got, folks. Yes. Hopefully we'll see you next week when we do another recap. It's supposed to be really exciting too next week.
Oh, yes. Sheena.
Ooh. Well, we'll see you there or be square. Isn't that corny?
Yes, that was.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Sunflowers.